Thursday night, $1 Thursday, the Syracuse Mets continue a 6-game homestand against the AAA affiliate of the Kansas City Royals, the Omaha Storm Chasers. Hi, everybody. Welcome inside our Visit Syracuse broadcast booth with Jack Gordon. I'm Michael Tricarico. Jack, this Syracuse team is as hot as the weather right now. They are steaming hot, 17-6, the second half of the season, second best record in the International League over that stretch. And we saw a good portion of why yesterday. Offense was great, but so was the pitching, and Blade Tidwell made another good start for Syracuse.
Yeah, another step in the right direction for Blade. 3 1/3 innings, just 1 run allowed. I think the biggest issue was just lacked a little bit of efficiency. He still had some good swing and miss stuff. He was throwing hard, but he got into a couple of long counts, had 2 walks in the first inning, but he settled in, and that was good to see. I think next time around we'll probably see that usual 5 or 6 innings with only a couple runs allowed.
While the pitching staff, of course, did its job, the Syracuse offense gave the pitchers a lot of room to work with. And one of the main reasons for that is Drew Gilbert. Since June 24th, which is the second half of the season, Gilbert is scorching hot, hitting better than 300 with an OPS over 1,000. And yesterday, he had his first professional 4-hit game.
Yeah, we've seen Gilbert kind of grow throughout the season. He's had good moments and other times where he's been slumping. But yesterday, he was really clicking. I think he just simplified his approach, waited for his pitch, and he always tends to hit the ball hard when he makes the right decisions. He's got an advanced approach. He'll wait and wait for the right pitch and be nice and patient. He's cut down on the strikeouts, and I think that's why we're seeing a lot of this success. Also because of opposite field hits like that. That's something we haven't seen early in the season, but now in the second half, it's the homers to the pole side, but also the line drives into left field too.
His patience at the plate led to more walks and also coincidentally led to better pitches to hit. You know, we talk all the time about how you have to have a strong lineup 1 through 9, and Syracuse definitely has that. But sometimes there are certain players who can make a huge difference, and Jared Young has been one of those players. We saw that firsthand yesterday.
Yeah, you probably saw him in New York fairly recently as depth for the New York Mets. Didn't get to play a lot, but going back down to Syracuse, he just crushes AAA pitching. We saw him with a homer, a triple, a double, 4 RBIs on the day. The guy's just a natural. He only had 1 plate appearance over the past week and a half, comes back here into AAA and just crushes it once again. He's a great culture setter, an incredible guy, and someone that, when he's in the batter's box here in NBT Bank Stadium, is just terrifying for AAA pitching.
Yeah, good luck to the guys who have to face off against Jared Young. We talk about how good this offense has been for Syracuse. It hasn't always been that way. First half of the season, Syracuse was near the bottom of the league in so many statistical categories. 18th in batting average, 18th in OPS, only scoring a touch more than 4 runs per game. The second half of the season has been so different. You could see the first half stats, how poor Syracuse was doing at the plate, but you add a little talent to the lineup. You add a little energy. And boy, what Syracuse has done the second half of the season has been marvelous.
Yeah, I mean, you add names like Pablo Reyes to the mix and Francisco Alvarez, Luis Angel Acuna. They were here for a few weeks, but the offense is continuing even without those guys. And it's because of players like Jared Young and Drew Gilbert who are real major league talent. But it's the guys on the edges, too. The 9-hitter on this team is Yanni Hernandez, who's batting .320 on the year and up near .400 over his last month plus. So they've gotten a lot of help from the edges, too. Celestino, Joey Meneses, they've been here the whole season and have been really consistent as well.
The Syracuse offense is averaging nearly 7 runs per game the second half of the season. That is 3rd in the International League. All right, all of the offense. We've talked about some of the pitching like Blade Tidwell. We can't bury the lead. Nolan McLean's on the mound tonight for the Syracuse Mets. He's been one of the best pitchers here in AAA since he got here, and that includes 26 strikeouts over his last 3 starts.
I mean, I just love the bulldog mentality out of him. No matter what it seems like, you're getting 5 or 6 innings with plenty of swings and misses. He's got some swagger on the mound. He throws hard, but he's got an elite pitch in a sweeper that has so much movement to it that could put him in the majors sooner rather than later. We heard it from David Stearns. You know, if they needed him, he could be ready within a few weeks. He has been so impressive in AAA. Keep in mind, this is his first full season as a starting pitcher, and he's took it in stride.
Nolan McLean's numbers really do speak for themselves. His last start down in Norfolk was a little bit shortened just because he was coming out of the All-Star break, but the start before that, which was here at NBT Bank Stadium against the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, McLean threw a career-high 97 pitches and tied a career high with 10 strikeouts. So he is a guy that is certainly getting into a rhythm, and you could certainly count on him to go deep into games and to strike out a ton of opposing batters, of which the lineup he is facing from the Omaha Storm Chasers does have some good talent to it. You've got guys like Kevin Biggio, who's hitting in the middle of the order. You got a Major League rehabber at Michael Massey, who's leading off.
Yeah, there is big league talent in this group. Dyrone Blanco has spent a lot of time with Kansas City. Harold Castro with a handful of games in Detroit the last few years. But also keep an eye on Carter Jensen. He's their second-ranked prospect behind the plate, and he hits really well.
So Nolan McLean on the mound, Michael Massey leading off, and the first pitch of the ball game is lifted in the air. Deep left center field, Gilbert racing back towards the track, near the wall. He tracks it down to make the catch for the first out of the ball game.
I mentioned Nolan McLean's a bulldog on the mound. Drew Gilbert in center field is a bulldog too. He puts his body on the line game after game. That fence doesn't exist to him. He'll run straight through it. Help out.
There have been times balls have gone over the wall, and Gilbert's running almost through the wall to get to the baseball. Speedy center fielder who has been better as the season has gone along, getting even better jumps in center field, finding ways to utilize not just the speed, but a pretty strong arm as well. One away, here's Dyrone Blanco. First pitch is a fastball that misses inside for ball one. Good to see the fastball velocity up early for McLean. Blanco's hitting .262 in 44 games. He had 3 hits yesterday. No. And a miss on that nasty sweeper for strike one.
That's the pitch that scouts, front office members, coaches, they say it is elite. As good as they come here in the minor leagues.
It's like a frisbee. 1-1. Swinging a fly ball down the right field line. Celestino racing over near the corner, but runs out of room. Just along strike two.
And I like that early. I know we're only on the second batter. It's simple. Fastball, sweeper. I think he's the type of pitcher that can go through the lineup the first time around with just those 2 pitches. If he were only limited to 2, he could have a lot of success. I think with McLean being a long-term starter, it's going to come down to what else he can throw and how he can get left-handed hitters out as well.
Something we'll see as this game goes along. 1-2 on Blanco. The pitch from McLean. Swing and a clip foul and a big curveball. That's a pitch that it's not always his go-to put-away pitch, but it has become a pitch that he's been able to get guys out on.
I mean, you saw Blanco waiting and waiting and waiting on that pitch. The timing is really crazy with that curve.
1-2. Clipped foul in dirt. Below Hayden Sanger, the Syracuse catcher. Count holds at 1-2.
Now here's something the young pitchers at this level are working on as well. How can you put guys away with strikes? Usually it's simple. He can go to the sweeper almost whenever he wants.
Already got a swing and a miss on the sweeper earlier this plate appearance. 1-2 on Blanco. 1 out, top of the first. Here's the pitch. It is a curveball that misses down low, and the count's 2-2. Now, McLean's numbers here in AAA have been excellent. Now, his last start was a little bit more iffy. 2-2. Taken on the outside corner, strike 3. A 95-mile-per-hour sinker that freezes Blanco for the second out of the frame. Now, defensively for the Mets behind McLean, you've got Jared Young in left field, Drew Gilbert in center, Gilberto Celestino in right, David Villar at first, Pablo Reyes at second, Yanni Hernandez at short, Luke Ritter at third, and Hayden Sanger behind the plate catching as the first pitch to Carter Jensen lands over the plate for strike 1. Well, Jensen has played in just 16 games here in AAA with Omaha. 22 years old, hitting .274 with a ton of power. Pitch here misses, and the count is 1-1. A fastball at 96 miles per hour. We talk all the time about matchups that you get to see here in AAA that you might see in the not-too-distant future in the big leagues, and well, this is certainly one of them. 1-1, Jensen takes high for ball 2.
Yeah, Jensen's really talented. Drafted just 4 years ago in the 3rd round out of high school. He's already in AAA, and he's been hitting really well at this level. 16 games, 7 homers and 21 RBIs.
Pitch here lifted in the air towards left, but Jared Young with plenty of room moving to the line to make the catch for the final out of the frame. An 11 pitch, 1-2-3 first for Nolan McLean. Gorgeous Thursday night here at NBT Bank Stadium. Syracuse coming to bat for the first time tonight. And this is a Syracuse lineup that is as good as they come. Third most runs scored so far the second half of the season, and averaging nearly 8 runs scored per game. Gilberto Celestino leads off. Here's the first pitch from Dallas Keuchel, and his sinker is swung on and missed for strike one. Well, Celestino's a .276 batter in 83 games this season, and he's got some underrated power. 7 home runs. He's hit the leadoff spot. He's hit third. He's hit 7th. He's hit all over in this lineup. 0-1 from Keuchel, misses the zone for ball 1. Celestino, a guy that you could slot right at the top of the order, and facing a guy in Dallas Keuchel who's a 2-time All-Star, a World Series champ, 5-time Gold Glove Award winner. 1-1 fouled straight back for strike 2. And a guy who's trying to get back to the big leagues.
Yeah, you know, he's 37 years old. He's accomplished so much. Been at the peak of the sport, winning that AL Cy Young, winning a World Series, but he still believes he's a big leaguer. That's why he's still pitching. It's not, for anything else.
The 1-2 here. A changeup is swung on and missed for strike 3. Going to be a good test for Keuchel. Talk about how good this Syracuse lineup has been, and the numbers, while he has been down here in AAA, have been very good.
I think it's going to be a fun test for this Mets lineup, too. Keuchel's a guy that has great breaking pitches. He's not throwing hard anymore. He really hasn't touched 90 miles per hour in this AAA season with Omaha. The Mets tend to struggle against these soft-tossing guys.
First pitch to Young, a called strike on the inside corner. It's 0-1.
We've seen more success for the Syracuse team against the hard-throwing, top prospect types like Andrew Painter than some of these older veterans.
It's so interesting how that works out sometimes, right? I think it'd be easier to hit the soft tossers. Here's the 0-1. Misses high for ball 1. Then again, in this era where it seems so many pitchers are trying to figure out how they can throw harder and harder and harder, maybe there's a reason some of these soft tossers are around, because they're the most effective ones.
Right, maybe it does elevate that fringe group of guys that are genuinely good pitchers. Think about Paul Blackburn, who Dick Scott, manager for Syracuse, has said time and time again that he's just a genuinely good pitcher. He's not throwing too hard. So guys at this level haven't seen too many of those types of pitchers anymore.
Even when we saw Sean Manaea, he's not blowing you away with 97, 98 miles an hour. 1-2 the count from Keuchel to Young, who had 3 hits and 4 RBIs yesterday for the Mets. The pitch is inside with the sinker for ball 2. Keuchel last season made 4 starts with the Milwaukee Brewers, also pitched in the Seattle Mariners organization, but he went overseas and pitched in Japan. Here's the 2-2. Young swings, grounds it sharply, but towards second. Wilson, after a little bobble, recovers and makes the out for the second out of the frame. Defensively for Omaha, it's Prado at first, Peyton Wilson the second baseman, Harold Castro at short, and Jordan Groshans at third. Tyrone Blanco in left, Joey Weimer in center, and Kevin Biggio in right, with Carter Jensen behind the plate catching. So 2 away, and here's Pablo Reyes, a 31-year-old batting from the right-hand side. He's hitting .329 in 21 AAA games this year. First pitch, swinging a clip foul, back behind home plate for strike 1. Reyes started the season with the New York Yankees, was in the major leagues. Obviously a plus glove. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a soft line drive over second into center field for a hit. That's just what Pablo Reyes does. He gets on base. Now he does have 4 homers and 6 doubles in 21 AAA games, but more walks than strikeouts, and a guy who just finds ways to elevate the ball to the outfield.
Yeah, a handful of times we've seen him be a good bad ball hitter. That was a changeup a few inches below the zone, but he still made enough contact to get it into the outfield.
Well, this is a Syracuse team that you certainly can't discount even with 2 outs. You've got Reyes at first and Joey Meneses at the plate. First pitch misses low for ball 1. We have not talked a ton about Joey Meneses recently, but he's just been so darn consistent. 276 batting average, an on-base plus slugging percentage above 750, and he leads the league with 30 doubles. Pitch here is a broken bat grounder towards second. Wilson ranges, fields, and throws to first in time for the final out of the frame. So it's a scoreless first for Keuchel, and no score as we go to the second. Got to get some refreshing lemonade on a steamy Thursday night here at NBT Bank Stadium. $1 Thursday, $1 sodas, $2 hot dogs, and $3 16-ounce beers, plus some post-game fireworks tonight. Our $1 Thursday today presented by Molina Healthcare of New York. First pitch to Kevin Biggio is lined to right center field. That's down in the gap for a hit and rolling towards the wall. Cut off by Gilbert as Biggio is into second base with a leadoff double. So first base runner allowed by Nolan McLean after he pitched a 1-2-3 first inning, needing just 11 pitches, but Biggio gets Omaha a base runner here in the second. Well, mentioned today's game is presented by Molina Healthcare of New York, and we're happy to be joined by Kelston Lucis, who's the manager for business development and facilitated enrollment at Molina Healthcare of New York. Kelston, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Great to have you. So for those that don't know, what does Molina Healthcare of New York offer its customers?
Molina Healthcare of New York is an organization driven by the mission to help our members and their families, communities lead healthier lives for more than 45 years.
Pitch here is hit in the air towards shallow right center, and Pablo Reyes makes an over-the-shoulder basket catch for the first out of the frame. How impressive is he?
Oh, he had to make that interesting, huh? That was one heck of a play. He got out towards the middle of right field for that one. Rarely do you see a second baseman range that far out. Over-the-shoulder basket grab, that was a beauty.
One away with Harold Castro coming to the plate. You were saying, Kelston?
More than 45 years, we built our very large provider network, more than 77,000 providers.
Wow.
More than 130 quality hospitals that work with Molina. We offer a variety of free and low-cost health insurance options in our service area and around Syracuse.
Oh, all right. So a large coverage area as the 1-0 is grounded to first, fielded by VR, and he takes it to the bag for the second out as Biggio advances to third. So, Kelston, what forums do you have for members who might need to ask some questions?
Hey, quick and easy call to 866-243-3174, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Representatives are on waiting for their call.
Now, what about folks who might want to meet with someone in person? Do you have some offices or anything like that?
Absolutely. Right here in Syracuse, we're at 348 Grant Boulevard, right in the Shop City Plaza.
Perfect. Here's Peyton Wilson at the plate. The runner at third. The first pitch, a cutter, is swung on and missed for strike one. And I understand no appointments are necessary either.
Absolutely not. Walk right in. Someone's waiting to greet them. Molina representatives, we help our visitors determine if they qualify.
Pitch here is grounded fair down the third base line as Peyton Wilson just snuck that fair. The throw to second a little bit offline. So it is an RBI single for Peyton Wilson that scores Kevin Biggio and gives Omaha a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, it looked like he was sitting on the sweeper there because he made some good hard contact on it. Doesn't usually get hit often against McLean, but if a batter is expecting it, they can time it up a little bit better.
Now, Kelston, when it does come to Molina Healthcare, what types of doctors and hospitals are offered through your plan?
Yeah, so I mentioned, more than 77,000 in our network altogether. They range from primary care physicians, specialists like pediatricians, OBGYN, cardiologists, and psychiatrists, you name it.
Wow.
Full array.
Here's the 0-1 to Nick Prado, and that misses the zone for a ball. And members can also choose from among more than 130 quality hospitals, so there's so many different options for them to choose.
Absolutely, absolutely.
2 outs. Here in the top of the second, 1-0 Omaha leads over Syracuse on this $1 Thursday. Here's the 1-1, swing and a miss in the cutter for strike two. Now, Kelston, what is your prescription plan for Molina Healthcare members?
So our members can choose from over 4,300 pharmacies in New York. We're also welcomed at many local independent pharmacies and national chains like CVS, Target, Walmart.
Ooh.
Yeah, so where you shop.
A lot of options. 1-2 looped foul, third base side. out of play. Are there? I know you guys are big with the community. Are there any upcoming community events that the Molina staff are involved with?
We do a lot of volunteering. We did one just this past spring. We did a pajama folding event.
1-2, grounded fair down the third base line once again. Peyton Wilson around third. He scores. Prado jogging for second. What was he doing there? He's out. Prado was just taking a nice little Thursday night jog from first to second base, and Jared Young throws him out. It's an RBI single, so it's 2-0 Omaha. Fans taking advantage of the $1 Thursday deals here at NBT Bank Stadium. $1 soda, $2 hot dog, $3 16-ounce beer, plus some ballpark favorites. Hamburgers, tenders, some Pavone's Pizza here in Syracuse. And our $1 Thursday tonight with post-game fireworks is presented by Molina Healthcare of New York. Drew Gilbert leads off. First pitch from Dallas Keuchel. Swung on and missed for strike one with the Mets trailing 2-0. We're happy to be joined here in the second inning by Kelston Lucis, who's the manager for business development and facilitated enrollment at Molina Healthcare of New York. Here's the 0-1 to Gilbert. Swinging a soft ground ball, hit to first. Prado fields and shovels it to Keuchel for the first out of the frame. Kelston, before we went to break, you were telling us about some of the great events you guys have been doing in the community.
Absolutely. We did a pajama giveaway to help youth in need. You can find us at Refugee Food Pantry Days, backpack giveaways events are coming up this August. We're going to be at a lot of events doing that, supporting faith-based community days and much more. We're all over the community.
That's awesome to hear. I'm sure the backpack giveaways have to be very popular. I'm sure
Always.
A lot of students needing those.
Every year, and we're happy to do it.
That's awesome. Here's David Villar batting from the right-hand side as Keuchel works from the full windup. And the pitch is swung on and missed for strike one. And is there a place people can go to learn more information about events in the community or learning more about the services you guys offer?
Absolutely. MolinaHealthcare.com is our website, but again, we are local right here in Syracuse, 348 Grant Boulevard, right at the Shop City Plaza. You can't miss it. Big Molina Healthcare sign.
Kelston, how did you get involved with Molina Healthcare?
Oh, man, I think I was born here. I've been with Molina Healthcare for over 20 years now. So I got hired and I stayed.
David Villar loops one into center field for a one-out single for the second straight inning. The Mets have a runner on base off of Keuchel with Sanger coming to the plate. Sounds like you enjoy what you do there.
I do. I love it. Absolutely fun.
Well, now with a runner at first base, Hayden Sanger is coming to the plate. Is there anything else that you think would be important for folks to know about Molina Healthcare? Maybe some folks who just might be tuning in?
Yeah, I would say, hey, check out our website, MolinaHealthcare.com. Look for us in the community. We're the ones in the teal shirts. We'll be doing all of these great events, all of these great community givings, and we're happy to just be a part of the Syracuse community.
This color's sharp. This is
Thank
giving
you.
off like early 2000s Florida Marlins. I like this. This is nice.
Thank you.
It's a good way to stand out in a good way.
Yes.
No balls and a strike on Sanger with Villar leading off of first. The pitch is waved on and missed for strike two. What a great night right here at the ballpark. Sun shining.
Beautiful.
Great crowd on hand. How many folks are here from Molina Healthcare?
We have just about 100 folks here tonight.
awesome.
So, yeah, we're representing.
Big time. Hopefully in the shade.
I hope so.
We're sweating up here in the
Oh, yeah.
broadcast booth. Need a little bit of a breeze to be blowing in from the outfield. 0-2 to Sanger as a changeup swung on and missed for strike three. Jack, how about Dallas Keuchel so far? He is looking very, very good so far tonight.
Yeah, he's been sharp. The key for him is just keeping batters off time because he doesn't throw much harder than 88 miles per hour anymore, so it's a lot of soft stuff right there to Sanger. Cutter, changeup, changeup. And although he's not throwing hard, his pitches have a lot of movement to them still. They're very deceptive.
Well, now here's Luke Ritter. First pitch, swing and a miss on a slider for strike one. 2-0 Omaha leads over Syracuse. We're in the bottom of the second inning. As David Villar leads off of first base for the Mets. Pitch from Keuchel, swinging a line drive foul first base side out of play for strike two. Again, tonight's $1 Thursday brought to you by Molina Healthcare of New York, and Kelston again for For any folks who just might be tuning in and want to know more about Molina Health, what do they need to know?
Yeah, again, check us out at molinahealthcare.com. Also, you can visit us at 348 Grant Boulevard, Syracuse, New York, east side of Syracuse, right at the Shop City Plaza.
Are you a big baseball fan?
Let's say sometimes.
Okay. When you're at the Syracuse Mets games, right?
At the Mets games, absolutely. Absolutely.
Make a Mets fan out of anyone here.
Absolutely. Great team.
1-2 to Ritter, misses down low for ball 2. Again, it's $1 Thursday here at NBT Bank Stadium. Some folks who might be watching on SNY, maybe down in the New York City area, maybe outside of central New York. Thursdays are always a great day to come. $1 sodas, $2 hot dogs, $3 16-ounce beers. 2-2 to Ritter, misses the zone for ball 3. We've got some jersey giveaways coming up Friday and Saturday here at the ballpark. Fireworks. We got a special Thursday night fireworks show today. Thank you to Molina Healthcare for that.
Thanks for having us.
Normally it's just Fridays and Saturdays. Here's the 3-2, and Ritter swings and misses for strike 3 to end the inning. Well, Kelston, thank you again for everything you guys are doing at Molina Healthcare. We appreciate having you on.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having us tonight.
Kelston Lucis joining us from Molina Healthcare here in the second, 2-0 Omaha. Fans taking in the game at NBT Bank Stadium. So many different vantage points to see the game from, including the 315 bullpen bar elevated above the left field fence. 2-0 Omaha in front as we start the third. First pitch from Nolan McLean to Jordan Groshans, misses the zone for ball 1. With Jack Gordon, I'm Michael Tricurico. Happy to have you joining us, however you may be watching or listening on SNY, on the Score 1260, locally in Syracuse, maybe on your mobile devices, Valley Live app or MILB.TV. 1-0 to Groshans, misses the zone for ball 2. Nolan McLean gave up 2 runs in the second inning. It was a pair of 2-out hits that just snuck down that third base and left field line. 2-0. Swinging a soft ground ball, hit to third. Ritter charges, fields, and throws on the run to first in time with an excellent stretch from VR at first. 1 away.
Heck of a play on both ends. Not an easy ball for Ritter to get to at all because it was hit so slowly. And David VR might have saved that play. It was a good throw from Luke, but VR's stretch right there might have bought them an extra tenth of a second or two to get the runner.
Which can make all the difference with the guy hustling down the line. Oh, 1 away. Here's Michael Massey batting from the left-hand side of the first pitch. Is a strike with the sweeper, and the count's 0-1. Massey on Major League rehab, flied out to center field his first time up. Pitch, swinging a ground ball, hit to second, vacuumed up by Reyes. And a throw to first in time for the second out of the frame. And this is what you like to see from a pitcher who gives up a couple of runs and a couple of hits he's not used to giving up here, on this Thursday night. But McLean bounces right back and gets 2 quick outs here in the third.
He's still been throwing a lot of strikes. I think that's the biggest thing. 28 pitches, or 29 now with 20 strikes. Putting the ball in the right spots.
Here's the first pitch to Dairon Blanco. It's a strike, 0-1.
Just a couple good swings by Omaha so far. 2 really hard hit balls. The RBI single from Prado was more of an unlucky one for McLean, just a roller down that third baseline. But overall, good chance here for him to bounce back and get back into a rhythm.
Here at this level, he really wanted to concentrate on pounding the zone more, even more than he had in Double-A. Here's the 1-1. Misses to Blanco for ball 2. That was one of the things he struggled with in his last start. Now, he had 6 strikeouts in 3 2/3 innings, but he walked 3 batters. He hit a batter. It's actually the second straight start in which he had walked 3 batters. Here's the 2-1. Tipped foul. It's now 2-2. That was a sinker from McLean.
Here's the thing with Nolan right now. He has been fantastic in AAA, but the Mets have 5 healthy starters at the moment up in New York, down in New York. They don't necessarily need him in the big leagues, and I definitely think McLean will be a big leaguer pretty soon, but he has time to work on things like his command.
Here's the 2-2 to Blanco, and it's clipped foul. I mean, he is on the precipice of getting up to the bigs. Him, Sproat, kind of following what Blade Tidwell did earlier this season. Before McLean's last start, it was tough to find really a stretch between McLean and Sproat where Syracuse didn't have a good chance to win a ball game.
No, I mean, those two have been pretty dominant in general this second half.
2-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Got him with the curveball. Second strikeout tonight for Nolan McLean. Dallas Keuchel back to the mound for Omaha here in the bottom of the third. Pair of scoreless frames so far from the 37-year-old left-hander. Looking to make a return to the big leagues after stopping Japan last season. He signed with the Kansas City Royals to a minor league deal and pitching well here in AAA Omaha. First pitch, Yanni Hernandez is a strike, and it's 0-1. Mets have a couple of hits, a 2-out single in the first, a 1-out single in the second, but neither of those runners got past first base. Hernandez, a switch hitter, batting right-handed. The 0-1, swinging a chopper over the mound to second. Wilson's been busy over there, and he makes the play here for the first out of the frame.
7 outs for Dallas Keuchel. 3 of them are strikeouts. The rest are on the ground.
And those soft throwers have given Syracuse trouble all season long.
It's about the timing. When you're throwing sinkers and a lot of change-ups and breaking pitches, commanding them in the right spots, you're going to break bats. You're going to get the bottoms of barrels. You're going to get guys on the hands. You'll end up with a lot of ground balls that way.
Keuchel getting a new baseball from home plate umpire Steven Rios Jr. I mean, Keuchel pitched 4 innings of 2-run baseball on July 12th. That was his first start with Omaha. That was against Toledo. Only 2 walks, 1 strikeout. A lot of balls put in play through 59 pitches in that start. Pitch to Gilberto Celestino, ripped foul third base side. Then July 18th in Buffalo, 4 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, and 75 pitches for Keuchel, 41 of which were strikes. And he's a guy that, certainly been throwing pitches into the zone, and Syracuse just has not had anything solid hit off of him. Even the couple of hits Syracuse had were these soft hit line drives into center field. Here's the 0-1 to Celestino. That's a sinker that misses, 2-1. Oh, we'll see now, second turn through the order, how the Syracuse offense adjusts. Because honestly, the adjustments have probably been the biggest thing that's aided Syracuse the second half of the season. Good eye from Celestino, who has 41 walks compared to 67 strikeouts in 83 games this year. 2-0 Omaha in front. Here comes the pitch from Keuchel. Swing and a miss on the sinker for strike 2.
It's impressive, how he's getting a lot of whiffs. It's the timing. A guy like Keuchel was successful for a reason. It wasn't necessarily because he was overpowering, but it's because he knew how to pitch, and he was is a very intelligent pitcher.
2-2, ground ball to first. Nice diving stop. Prado, but nobody home to cover first. Keuchel points to Prado saying, nice play, and then taps the chest saying, yeah, my fault. I wasn't over there. I mean, I'll tell you what. Give Omaha credit because they had Prado in the perfect spot to make the play. The downside of that was Celestino's so quick, he might have beaten Keuchel to the bag anyway.
That's prototypical for Celestino, hitting the ball the other way, hitting it on the ground. Got to be ready for that if you're Keuchel.
Third hit for Syracuse today. Here's Jared Young. First pitch fouled away, and the count's 0-1. Young hit a ball sharply, but right to second base his first time up today. Fresh off a 3-hit, 4 RBI game yesterday. Impressive part about Young's game yesterday is that it came after he had just 1 plate appearance over the last week and a half. 0-1 on Young. The pitch, swinging a line drive off of Prado's glove to second, knocked down by Wilson. Everybody's safe. It's another hit.
The good things happen when you put the ball in play, and that's what the top of the Mets lineup does. You don't see many strikeouts out of Celestino or Young or Pablo Reyes, who's coming up next. So if you can just keep the line moving here, you've gotten a little bit of a blessing with a couple of balls hit on the right side that at least one of which probably should have been an out. But now you've got 2 on, only 1 down. You have to take advantage of this opportunity.
And Pablo Reyes, who has been almost the heart and soul of the Syracuse team since he joined the Mets June 21st. Here's the first pitch. Reyes fouls it away. Reyes started the season with the New York Yankees, played in 25 games with the Yanks, mostly as a defensive replacement. Only had 31 at-bats, went 6 for 31. Designated for assignment by the Yankees in elected free agency. 0-1 pitch misses. It's 1-1. And then signed a minor league contract with the New York Mets on June 21st. He was in the organization last year, was well-liked, did get up to the big leagues briefly with the New York Mets last year, but spent a majority of the season here in AAA with Syracuse. 1-1, outside ball 2. With the Boston Red Sox back in 2023, spent some time with Boston last year as well. Guy who is well-traveled in the major leagues. More than 200 major league games played in. Here's the 2-1. That's fouled away. It's 2-2. And Reyes is one of those signings where you're not expecting that he's going to all of a sudden go up to the major leagues and be this big game changer on offense. But you sign him to a minor league contract, and he's one of the first guys you'll trust if there's some injury or some need for a major league infield glove, because not only is he good defensively, he's just a great clubhouse guy.
Right. If you needed somebody at second, short, third, he's the guy.
2-2 is popped in the air, shallow right center field. Wilson going back, called off by Weimer, the center fielder, and there's 2 away.
You know, the good thing about the current New York Mets roster is how much flexibility you do have. Brett Beatty can play second or third. Mauricio, second, short, third. Vientos, first and third. McNeil, second and center field. There's so many ways you can move the pieces around that if you did have an injury, you would have a lot of really opportunities or chances to say, you know what, we're going to put this person here and let this person stay at this position.
Yeah. The versatility makes a big difference. First pitch to Joey Meneses, a strike. It's 0-1. I think it's something the Mets organization has really valued lately. Acuna can play second, short, third, or center field. We saw him there when he made his brief stint here with Syracuse. 0-1 to Meneses, misses for ball 1. Guys like Jet Williams down in Double-A, now getting more opportunities in center field. So yes, infielders by trade, but I think Mets understanding they need some outfielders as well.
I think we're going to see a lot of that in the future, too. I know in this most recent draft, a lot of the first-round picks were what they would just call a high school shortstop, which in college football terms is athlete.
Yeah.
You know, when you get guys out of high school that are just called athlete. There are a lot of players that, okay, you play shortstop in high school, but you could play anywhere on the diamond by the time you get to the big leagues.
And we've seen firsthand just how important that versatility is, even with a guy like Jared Young, right? He could play first, third, left. Pitch to Meneses, misses. It's 3-1.
I think that ends up being a reason why players get signed in the offseason or during the season, too. David Villar, who's hitting sixth today, he could play first or third. Luke Ritter, we've seen him at first, second, third, and left. I think right field, too.
Yeah, we have. Meneses pokes this changeup foul, and it's a 3-2 count on him.
It's not the only way to stick around by just crushing homers. You know, you can stay with teams by having defensive versatility or being a good contact hitter. It's not just one thing that keeps you in an organization.
All right, now we'll see if Meneses can pull through with a run-producing hit. 3-2, swinging a fly ball, well hit center field. Weimer's going back near the track in front of the wall. He leaps up in the air, and did he make the catch? I think he did. No, he didn't. It's a home run. We'll take it. Joey Meneses just holds his arms in the air saying, all right. Boy, the way that Weimer went up, it looked like that ball was in his glove. But as he crashed into the wall, Meneses has himself a go-ahead 3-run home run. And the Syracuse Mets will take it. 3-2, Syracuse in front.
A little Houdini act by Joey Meneses here. You know, he crushed this ball, but the way Weimer went up,
it hit his glove and went over the wall.
It just vanished. It looked like it went into his glove, but great piece of hitting by Meneses. He got a high sinker and crushed it into right center.
Here's the first pitch to Drew Gilbert, misses for a ball. You could see in Meneses' reaction, if you caught it for a moment after the swing, he didn't think that was a home run.
I think he gave the Jordan shrug.
Yeah, I mean,
hey,
he
I guess.
swung, hits that in the air, and he kind of like just dropped the bat, thinking that was going to be a fly out to right center field. And that ball just kept carrying. You know, for all the well-hit balls that Joey has had that have resulted in outs, he deserves something like that, his 6th home run of the season to go along with 30 doubles. Here's the 2-0 to Gilbert. Ground ball foul, first base side. It's 0-1. I saw the ball hit Weimer's glove, but fortunately for the Mets, sometimes you need a bounce to go your way, and it went their way.
You know, I wish these outfielders never learned the trick of pretending they didn't catch the ball, or else we would just think, okay, with that reaction, it's gone. But sometimes they try to pretend.
2 balls and a strike here on Gilbert. So just like that, Syracuse has jumped in front 3-2. And the pitch home is grounded right side and through past Prado into right field. Well, that ball was scorched on the ground, but Prado was right there, and he kind of allayed it. So after the Joey Meneses 3-run home run, Drew Gilbert reaches base, and this inning continues with David Villar coming to the plate.
You know, it's a play Prado should have made, but Gilbert hit that ball 100 miles an hour and pulled it on the ground. Like we said earlier, good things happen when you put the ball in play, but you know, Gilbert will take it.
And now we're getting a visit at the mound by Dane Johnson, the Omaha pitching coach. I mean, Keuchel was breezing through the Syracuse lineup, but second turn through, we've talked about how well these Syracuse players make adjustments. Second turn through the order, 3 of the first 4 batters have hits, 4 of the first 5 batters have reached base.
You know, they do their homework, too. They know what they're going to get out of Dallas Keuchel early. Maybe he wins round 1 like he did the first time around in the order, but once these hitters have seen him for a second time, they've taken advantage.
So here's VR with Gilbert leading off of first, and a throw to first as Drew back safely standing up. Well, a Joey Meneses 3-run home run that just cleared that right center field wall as Syracuse in front 3-2. Here's the pitch to VR, and there's a strike with the cutter in the outside corner. It's 0-1. That's the other thing about this Mets offense. They're going to make you work. I mean, Keuchel's pitch count starting to rise up to 52 pitches right now. 0-1 is a strike. It's 0-2. And that's where, you know, you don't think much about a 2-out single in the first inning or just a 1-out single in the second. But you know, Syracuse was having some success. They were putting the ball in play off of them. The 0-2 is waved on and missed with a changeup for strike 3, and that ends the inning. 4 strikeouts for Keuchel through 3 frames. Back at NBT Bank Stadium for the mascot race presented by Wegmans. Always a big battle between the mascots and the kids. 3-2 Mets in front, and as we start the 4th, Jack Gordon has the play-by-play for you.
Thanks, Michael. Mets are winning the battle by 1 right now, with McLean dealing to Carter Jensen. First pitch missing outside for ball 1. Well, Nolan McLean's been solid so far. Only time he's gotten roughed up was in that second inning. A couple of doubles and an RBI single. 2 balls, no strikes on Carter Jensen, who's 0 for 1. McLean retired the side in order in the first inning. Faced 5 hitters in the second. Retired him 1, 2, 3 in the third. 2 strikeouts, no walks. Hasn't hit anyone yet today. Those are positive signs that his command has been pretty sharp. 2-0 a check swing, and it's a strike. As for McLean, in general, he's just been fantastic at this level. Since getting called up to AAA on May 9th, he's first in opponent average, 4th in ERA, and 2nd with 71 strikeouts and 64 innings entering this game. I mean, the things you look at when trying to figure out, okay, who's ready to go up. Let's look at Blade Tidwell, for example, when he got called up earlier in the year. The strikeouts were high, the walks were low. Got the pass to the big leagues. Wave and a miss, strike 3. Picture perfect curveball from Nolan McLean for out number 1.
I mean, he's locked in. Obviously, had that tough stretch in the second inning, but we talk so often about Major League teams wanting to see how their young players respond to some adversity. So far, so good for Nolan.
Here's Kevin Biggio, who doubled back in the second, went on to score the first run of the game. First pitch to him misses inside. Biggio's been really good in this series. 3 for 9 with a homer, a triple, and 4 RBIs. Called strike on a sweeper here. Biggio, the 30-year-old from Houston, Texas. 5th round pick by the Blue Jays 9 years ago. Wave and a miss on a cutter. 1-2. Well, Biggio came up pretty quickly, drafted in 2016, debuted in 2019. His rookie season was arguably his best. He was 5th in Rookie of the Year voting, had 16 homers in 100 games. That pitch was inside and it hit him. Curveball just missed too far inside, so command issues returning here in the 4th inning. That puts Biggio at first with 1 out.
And Biggio had that big double off of McLean earlier. Sometimes you end up trying to do a little too much. Seen an elevated number of curveballs, it almost feels like today, from McLean. Most of them have been pretty good. This one, of course, just got away from him. Let's see. We haven't seen as many ground ball double plays from McLean this season. Oh, this would be a great spot for one off of Weimer.
Weimer grounds it over to second. Reyes ranging to his left, bounces the throw to first, and makes the play. Oh, is he finding a cutter to the basket or tossing a little assist there to David Villar?
I mean, he's looking like Pistol Pete over there. Just the bounce pass to the cutter back door. I don't think. We said it yesterday. There is no player that has mastered the art of the bounce pass in baseball more than Pablo Reyes.
I wonder if he had to do it that time. Maybe is he showing off at this point? If so, hey, it's working. First pitch, a called strike to Harold Castro. 2 outs in the 4th. Mets leading the Storm Chasers 3-2. Kevin Biggio at second. Here's Harold Castro, 6 homers, 26 RBIs this year. Sliding stop Ritter, pops up, throws in time to end the inning. One-hit batsman, but Biggio stranded as we go to the bottom of the 4th. 1-run lead for Syracuse. At the team store here at NBT Bank Stadium, a little bit of everything. Got shirts, hats, sweatshirts, all kinds of different lids in there. Bottom of the 4th, Hayden Sanger leading off against Dallas Keuchel with the first pitch dropping in for a called strike. 0-1. Well, Keuchel cruised through the first 2 innings, and in the 3rd, gave up singles to Celestino and Jared Young, and then a 3-run homer to Joey Meneses. Sanger takes the ball outside, 1-1. Well, he's looked fairly sharp so far. Those singles that he gave up kind of easily could have been ground outs, and he really gets bitten by the homer.
And at the end of the day, for Syracuse, that's why you put the ball in play. And, you know, the Mets had a couple of 1-out singles from Celestino and Young, but you could say the same thing about McLean, right? A couple of ground balls that just kind of snuck their way down the third base line. Otherwise, he's perfect.
3 balls and a strike on Sanger, who's one of 4 strikeout victims for Keuchel. You know, if he wants to get back to the big leagues, strikeouts being this high is a pretty good sign for him. 3-1 pitch. Sanger takes a called strike. Sinker at a blazing 87 miles per hour. You know, Keuchel doesn't throw as hard as he once did, and he was never a flamethrower tossing in the high 90s, but he's remained a very crafty pitcher. 3-2. Sanger lifts it into left center field. Blanco ranging over. Center fielder Weimer makes the catch for the first out.
Well, this is where, I mean, the bottom of the order yesterday for Syracuse was so important. Ritter was batting 7th. He had a hit. Luis de los Santos was batting 8th. He reached base twice. And Yanni Hernandez batting 9th had 2 hits. You know, now you're getting to Sanger batting 7th, Ritter hitting 8th, and Yanni Hernandez batting 9th. See if you can get a couple of runners on base for the top of the order once again.
First pitch to Ritter, ripped into left field. That's down for a hit. Blanco chases it all the way down the line. Ritter's taken off for 2. The throw is just late, and he's in with a 1-out double.
Great piece of hitting from Ritter. You know, the more and more we get to see him, the better and the closer he looks to the Luke Ritter we saw last year. 26 home runs, 90-plus RBIs. I mean, he's hitting nearly 300 over a 41-game stretch since May 17th. See if he can up the power a little bit. Getting a 1-out double here in the 4th is a good start.
That brings up Yanni Hernandez. Mets up by a run with 1 out. Runner in scoring position as Keuchel throws over. If you haven't watched Yanni Hernandez play yet this season, you're almost guaranteed a base hit or 2 every game. He's a switch hitter, 27 years old, out of Venezuela, signed as an international free agent with the Rangers back in 2014. But here in 2025 with the Mets, he's batting over .320, and over his last 33 games since June 5th, batting .390. Now, he doesn't strike out. He just rips line drives and ground balls in the gap.
It's not always the sexiest thing, but he's going to consistently be good for a hit or 2 per game out of your 9-hole.
1-0 is a called strike, even count. So yesterday, the Mets and players, front office, they went to upstate Golisano Children's Hospital. They were hanging out with kids, making slime, playing video games. There was this one video game that was a home run derby simulator as Hernandez rips it foul. So a bunch of the players were going up against some of the kids, and more often than not, the kids were actually winning.
Yeah.
Well, Yanni Hernandez in the home run derby, keep in mind, doesn't have a homer this year, but he's a contact guy, .320 hitter. In that home run derby, he was just ripping nice line drives, getting on base. That wasn't necessarily the game for him.
It was honestly perfect because, like you're saying, he doesn't have a home run. Here was Syracuse.
He was taking pitches.
He gets in this game. He's taking a pitch, then he's swinging, and it's, there's a line drive single to the left center field gap. Oh, Yanni just spraying the ball all over the field. All these singles.
1-2 is outside. He squats down low to watch it, and he's in a 2-2 count.
And he was saying, the first home run I hit in this game will be the first home run I hit this season.
Yeah, never been much of a power hitter.
But that's all right. I mean, that's not his game. It doesn't have to be.
Hernandez takes outside, and it's a full count.
I mean, again, we talked about it a little yesterday. I think every great lineup, the art of hitting over 300 is almost, I think every great lineup could use a guy or two who's hitting right around 300. May not be a big power hitter, but he's good for a couple hits a game.
Fouled off to the right side here.
Because that puts guys on base for your power hitters, right? I mean, why this lineup is averaging almost 7 runs per game. Guys like Yanni Hernandez getting on base, even if it is with singles. Then he's got his speed, where yesterday he steals second base and scores on a Gilberto Celestino single later in the inning. I mean, that's what someone like a Yanni can do for your lineup, especially when he brings a good glove.
Ground ball over to short. Castro can't get to it, and a run's going to score. Yanni Hernandez just simply puts the ball in play and makes things happen. RBI single on the grounder up the middle, and the Mets go up 4-2.
Because what else would you want in that spot? You don't need an extra base hit to score the run. Just put a single to the outfield that gets through, and the underrated aspect of that play was Luke Ritter's base running. He was immediately off to third base when that ball was hit, realizing even if Castro fields that ball, there's no shot. He's getting the out at third. Great base running from Ritter. Great piece of hitting from Yanni. And the Mets increase their lead.
So your 9-hitter, who's almost like a secondary leadoff man, is at first, while your actual leadoff man, Gilberto Celestino's up. 1 for 2 with a single today. Down 0-2 here. The other great thing about Yanni Hernandez, yeah, he's batting over .320 on the season. with runners in scoring position, hitting well over 400. He's a guy that has great bat control, so situationally, he can make the right decisions.
And I mean, it's been awesome to see this lineup, whether it's Yanni, whether it's Celestino, work pitchers, work opposing pitchers. The thing for Yanni is he's a switch hitter. Normally we're seeing him hit from the left-hand side with success, but he was hitting from the right-hand side there and still strengthening that ball through the center of the infield.
1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 out here in the 4th. Called strike 3, and Celestino's challenging. A cutter on the outer third. All eyes on the left center field scoreboard. We'll give you a look right here. Dropped a little bit low. Celestino's nodding his head like, yep, I saw that one.
We won't mention any of the times any of these guys have gotten them wrong. All that you remember is the last challenge you had.
What have you done for me lately? 2-2 on Celestino. Popped up down the right field line. Biggio ranging over. He makes the catch on the run for out number 2. Really athletic play by Kevin Biggio.
And sometimes with this ABS system, the end result ends up being pretty similar. That was a great play by Biggio in right, ranging over to make that play. Yanni was ready to run. If that thing fell, he was going to try and score from first with just 1 out. And now we'll see if Jared Young can come through once again for Syracuse, much like he did yesterday.
2 outs, bottom 4. Mets up by a pair. Young takes the first pitch high. Jared had a great day yesterday. 3 for 5, a homer, triple, 4 RBIs. 30-year-old out of Prince George, Canada. Takes a pitch inside. He's ahead 2-0. Well, Young signed a major league deal with the Mets back in December, and his major league experience was not too expansive before this season. Just a couple years with the Cubs where he played 22 total games. What a nice play by Corey Wimberly over at first, huh? A little stinger.
Yeah, Wimbo shaking out that hand. Don't let him see how much that stung. That was a great play.
We'll get him some ice, rub some dirt on it, all the other cliches. 2-1. Young bounces it foul again. And so when Young was signed in the offseason, it was pretty much as depth for the big league club like he's served this season, 19 total games with New York. But a big reason why was that versatility. First base, left field, right field, and a guy that can crush righties. Bouncer foul. Keuchel steps off the mound, bounces around the rosin bag. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Mets already with a run in this inning. Young swings and misses, but a drop third gives him a chance. But Jensen's there to make the play. RBI single by Yanni Hernandez stretches the lead to 2. On to the 5th here in Syracuse. Back at NBT Bank Stadium on a hot, steamy day in Syracuse. Well over 90 degrees and humid as Nolan McLean steps back on the rubber. McLean's got Wilson, Prado, and Groshans, 7, 8, and 9 in the Omaha order. Wilson takes a first pitch strike. 0-1. Wilson had an RBI double back in the 2nd inning. Only rough one for McLean. Outside of that inning, he's only let 1 other man on base. It was when he hit Kevin Biggio last frame. Oh, 1 pitch. He swings and lifts it in the air, left center field. Young's going back. Gilbert towards the warning track. And the left fielder Young makes the catch on the run for the first out of the inning.
Love the efficiency from McLean again today. This was some efficiency we saw a couple of starts ago when he threw a career-high 97 pitches July 9th against Lehigh Valley. I know a lot of folks wondering, geez, do they let these guys go more than 60, 70, 80 pitches? Yes, and you'll probably see McLean get into the 6th or 7th inning if he continues to pitch like he is right now.
Here's Nick Prado, had the RBI single in the second. Former first-round pick back in 2017. Prado lifts it up down the left field line. Jared Young sprinting in. He makes the catch, staying busy out in left field. 2 gone.
I love to see the jumps that guys like Yanni Hernandez, the shortstop, Luke Ritter, the third baseman, getting where, any of those guys at least had an opportunity to make the catch before Young, of course, made the call. I think we have, really enjoyed seeing the Syracuse defense kind of take that next level step up where they need to be, which is help make life easier on this entire pitching staff.
Jordan Groshans takes the ball outside. I mean, look at the pitch count for Nolan McLean right now. 52 pitches, and he's got 2 outs in the 5th inning. That's been arguably his best trait, is how deep he goes in these games. He's pitched at least 5 innings in every AAA start. He's gone 6 innings in 5 of 9 starts, and in his debut, he went 7.
Which was a career high for him. I mean, it's been remarkable what he's been able to do here at this level.
Bouncer over towards third. Ritter's got it. And a little bit of a bobble is going to put Groshans at first.
Yeah, that's one of those almost all or nothing plays. Ritter knew he had to be quick. You can't do anything about how high that ball goes up. You just got to wait and wait and wait as it's coming down. Ritter tried to be as quick as possible with that transfer. If he's perfect with it, he probably gets Groshans, but obviously a difficult play to have to make.
So a runner at first with 2 outs. That's leading the Storm Chasers 4-2. And leadoff man Michael Massey up to bat. Called strike on a sinker with first pitch, 0-1. Massey's on Major League rehab right now. This is the 2nd time he's been with Omaha for that reason. He hurt his ankle in early June with Kansas City, rehabbed with Omaha in late June, and then got hit by a pitch on the wrist. And go back down to AA, restart. Now here back in AAA, looking to get back to Kansas City. Well, Ritter makes up for the bobble, ending the inning on the ground out. Bottom of the 5th coming up. Syracuse up 4-2. Nothing better than a Dollar Thursday at NBT Bank Stadium. Dollar dogs on the concourse. No place you'd rather be.
If you have not tried a Hoffman hot dog, local, originating in Syracuse, you're missing out. You at least got to try it.
Dallas Keuchel first pitch to Reyes, slowing inside for a ball. I'll tell you what, I know you're not directly talking to me.
No.
But I've had plenty of Hoffman hot dogs in my day.
I know there's some folks probably down watching around New York City saying, how does it compare to the Nathans? Nathans are good, but I'm just telling you. Hoffman hot dogs, yeah. Got to try it. Got to try it.
That's what Upstate's about.
It is. You've got Salen's in Buffalo. We're actually going to go to Buffalo next week. Salem Field. The Buffalo Bisons played.
2-0 pitch to Reyes. He swings and lifts it in the air down the right field line. Biggio sprinting in towards foul territory, and he makes the catch just a foot left of the foul line for the first out. That brings up Joey Meneses, 1 for 2 with a 3-run homer today. And for Joey, that was his 6th homer of the year, his 37th extra base hit. Top 10 in the International League. Joey, 33 years old. Dallas Keuchel, a 37-year-old lefty. A couple of veterans going at it. Meneses swings and misses on a changeup. Dallas Keuchel was drafted in the 7th round all the way back in 2009 by the Astros. Played his college ball at University of Arkansas. Called strike, and he's ahead 0-2. It was pretty cool when Keuchel broke out in 2014 with the Astros. Coming up, he wasn't a top prospect. First 2 seasons in the major leagues, had an ERA well above 5. Then in 2014, he flipped the switch. At 26 years old, he made 29 starts, had a sub-3 ERA. He went on everybody's radar. And the very next season in 2015, he won the AL Cy Young. A 20-8 record. I know we don't talk about wins anymore,
right?
But 20 wins. So impressive. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Meneses.
And what we're seeing today with Keuchel, right? 37 years old, going up against guys, like Drew Gilbert, who's on deck. That's to me what makes this level of baseball, AAA, so fun to watch. You get that culmination of guys like Drew Gilbert trying to get to the big leagues for the first time, and then you get other guys like Keuchel, like Joey Meneses, who have been there in varying degrees, of course, and are trying to work their way back. And you get that those two groups coming together here. It's a unique aspect to this level.
Meneses with a grounder to short. Castro's got it, and he makes the throw for out number 2.
Tough over there for the first baseman, Prado. This is that time of day where that sun's setting down the third base and left field line, and based on where the throw's coming from, that first baseman is looking directly into the sunlight as that throw's coming. Prado kind of shifted his head for a moment at that last second, almost guessing where that baseball was as the throw came in for Castro.
2 down, bottom 5 with Drew Gilbert up to bat. 0 for 2. Ground out. He reached on error in the third. First pitch drops in, a slider at just 76 miles an hour. Well, when Keuchel won that AL Cy Young in 2015, Drew Gilbert was probably a freshman in high school, 14 years old.
You probably get guys, when Dallas Keuchel's pitching here, there's probably guys in the Omaha side. I mean, I think the guy catching him, Carter Jensen, is like, oh, yeah, I remembered watching you 10 years ago.
I mean, Carter Jensen's 22.
I think he was 12 when Keuchel was pitching back in 2015.
When Keuchel debuted, he was 9. I mean, that really is one of the cooler parts of AAA. Like you said, you get matchups like a former Cy Young winner on the mound against a guy in Drew Gilbert who's trying to figure out how to get to the big leagues and how to stay there. That's something that players like Dallas Keuchel have mastered. The hardest part, Drew Gilbert mentioned it earlier this year, isn't just getting there, but it's staying in the big leagues. 1-2 pitch. Gilbert chops it over to first, fielded by Prado. Horseshoe flip to Keuchel for out number 3. 37 years old, he's still got it, retiring the side in order. Top of the 6th inning on a gorgeous evening here in Syracuse. Mets lead the Storm Chasers 4-2 with Nolan McLean back on the mound and Tyrone Blanco leading things off. Blanco squares to bunt, couldn't get it down. Check at first, and first base umpire Steven Jaschinski said that he pulled it back in time. Blanco 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. McLean's got 3 of them today. Sinker a little bit high. 2 balls, no strikes.
This is where pitchers make their money, right? You get through 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, fine. Been a great bounce back for McLean these last 3 scoreless innings. Now can he get through the 6th and into the 7th?
Line drive into right field. Celestino's going back. He makes the catch on the jog for first out.
And look, that's all right. I mean, if you're going to be a pitcher who's going to get into the 6th, the 7th, the 8th inning when you're up in the big leagues, you need to get some of these early outs. Okay, yeah, guy hits the ball hard, gets it to the out. That's not ideal. You prefer that soft ground ball contact that McLean actually has gotten a few times today, but get a couple of quick outs like that. That's how you get into the 6th, 7th, 8th inning if you're Nolan McLean.
Yeah, I mean, the efficiency has been tremendous today. 60 pitches now. He's got 1 out in the 6th. Tough matchup here, though, with Carter Jensen. 0 for 2 today, but tough lefty to face. Second-ranked prospect in the Royals organization. Top 100 overall. Jensen grounds it up the middle. McLean says, look what I found. Makes the perfect throw to first, and there's 2 away.
Just so calm, cool, collected. Look, just looked like the cool kid out there snatching that. Yep, I grabbed that ball. A little throw over to first base, maybe also a little bit of a deep breath. All right, nice play, make the good throw. So far, so good for Nolan McLean.
I mean, he's not unfamiliar with being in the field. He was an outfielder a little bit at Oklahoma State, two-way player all the way into his minor league career. First pitch to Kevin Biggio misses, 1-0. Now, granted, he wasn't playing shortstop and then hopping out on the mound the next day for the Brooklyn Cyclones in high A, but it was pretty cool to see him continue as a two-way hitter after being drafted. Didn't necessarily pan out. Mets turned him into a full-time starter about halfway through last season, but he's taken that role in stride. This is his first season fully as a starting pitcher, really ever in his life.
Right, and what he was saying was when he was becoming a two-way player, it was kind of the legs. He would be losing some stamina with the legs when he was hitting every day, and now you're pitching every fifth or sixth day. He just feels so much more energized since he's become a full-time pitcher.
You know what was cool, though? Some of the coaches and players the other day were talking about McLean during BP, and Drew Gilbert said he had more pop than, his fastball velocity. Yeah,
wow.
He throws hard, but he could crush homers.
Wow.
Like the power was a higher graded tool than his heater.
Right. I mean, and the biggest thing that hurt him when he was down in Double-A hitting-wise was just his strikeout rate was over 50%. But he says, to the Mets' credit, they let him make the decision for himself.
Foul tip into the mitt, and he strikes out Biggio for K number 4. Another curveball from McLean. He's through 6 as we go to the bottom half here in Syracuse.
He's going to be kicking himself for that one pitch, right? The home run to Meneses that almost wasn't, but his start looks a lot better. It probably was better than the numbers indicate just because of that 1 3-run home run.
Yeah, Dallas Keuchel got the start for Omaha, went 5 innings, gave up 4 earned, no walks and 5 strikeouts. Yeah, he was solid. It was really that third inning that got him, the 3-run homer for Joey Meneses. 1-0, ripped into left center field. Blanco's got a beat. He dives, and he made the grab. Wow. Outstanding play by Dairon Blanco to rob a hit from David Villar.
He got a great jump. You could see him with the speed just sprinting over towards the gap and knew exactly where he had to go down to grab that baseball, rolling over just to show that he got it. Great play by Blanco.
That brings up Hayden Sanger, the catcher for the Mets today. Saw him in New York not too long ago. First pitch from Sears, a called strike, 91 with the sinker. And Sanger was with the Mets over the last month. Optioned back to Syracuse earlier in the week, so Francisco Alvarez could go up. Sanger swings and misses at a slider here, 0-2. I mean, while he was with the Mets, he was given some outstanding defense. The blocking was off the charts, throwing runners out, framing really well, too. He's just exactly what you want in a backup catcher. 0-2 from Sears. Sanger bloops it into center. Weimer sprinting in. He makes the catch. 2 down.
A little bit of a rough go at it for Hayden since he's come back down here to AAA. I don't think it'll be long before he continues to find his groove, as we've talked about. Such a luxury in this Mets organization to have 3 talented catchers that you really trust, especially behind the plate.
First pitch to Ritter's outside, 1-0. Luke 1 for 2. He struck out in the second, doubled in the 4th inning. 1-0. Outside, takes a curveball there. Ritter started off the season pretty cold. Month of April, he bat just 176, but since May 1st, he's hitting 265 with a 787 OPS. Now, that's a lot more like the Luke Ritter we saw last year. 849 OPS over the full season. Over 50 extra base hits. Ritter swings and lifts it into right field. Biggio going back. This one's over his head and it's off the wall. Ritter's digging for 2. He gets in safely with a stand-up double. Second extra base hit of the day for Luke Ritter.
I mean, that is just an excellent piece of hitting. That is a sinker in on the hands that somehow he still powers over Biggio's head in right field and hits off the right field wall. I mean, that is not from the wind blowing out towards right center field. That is just pure strength from Ritter to get handcuffed, tied up like that, and still lift that ball to the wall for a double. Wow.
So with 2 outs, the Mets have an opportunity to add some insurance here. Yanni Hernandez, who hit from the right side in his first 2 ABs, now batting lefty against the right-handed Ben Sears. Yanni had an RBI single in the 4th to bring Luke Ritter in. Same situation. Ritter doubled. Yanni came up, ripped the ball up the middle. 0-1 pitch. Hernandez bounces it past the mound. Castro charging in. He gloves. He can't make the throw, and Ritter moves up to third. Runners at the corners with 2 down.
I mean, again, you want to speak to the depth of this Mets lineup. 8-hitter Ritter, 2 doubles today. 9-hitter Hernandez, yet another multi-hit game. And this one just an infield single to get the job done.
He just continues to produce, batting well over 400 with runners in scoring position.
That is his 19th multi-hit game in just 54 AAA games played this season.
Wow. First pitch to Celestino taken all the way. I mean, that's more than every 3rd game,
right?
Having multiple hits.
And the days he's not having multiple hits, he's still probably good for at least 1.
Right. 0-1 pitch. Celestino takes the ball outside. So runners at the corners, 2 down. Mets up by 2. You know, you're feeling somewhat comfortable with McLean on the mound, and he's been cruising. But you want to stretch this lead out a little bit more. 1-1. Foul tipped. The Mets stranded a runner in each of the first 4 innings. Don't want to get in that situation again here in the 6th. That's Carter Jensen behind the plate, 22-year-old catcher who went from catching the 37-year-old Keuchel to Ben Sears, the 25-year-old righty. Celestino, the leadoff man in this order, 1 for 3. Could really use the line drive here. 1-2 pitch. Pops it up foul. Well, Ben Sears, the pitcher Celestino is going against right now, started his career in community college. Went to the Community College of Rhode Island, transferred to the University of Houston. Ended up getting drafted in the 4th round 3 years ago by the Royals. Beautiful night in Syracuse. 1-2 pitch. Celestino pops it foul again. He's really making Sears work here. We're headed for pitch number 7.
And this is why this Mets team has been so good hitting with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Tend to work pitchers. This is not a guarantee Celestino gets a hit here, but again, he's already worked an elongated plate appearance.
Another foul ball. But the more you get to see pitches from a guy like Sears who's new in the ball game, yes, it helps Celestino who's up to bat, but odds are he'll come and pitch another inning. Jared Young on deck gets to see him more. Everybody that follows just gets to see more pitches and might have a better idea of what they're going to get. 1-2 again. Framed up for a called strike 3, but Celestino's challenging.
The batter is challenging.
We've seen him use this get out of jail free card before. Did he do it again? Nope, that one just clipped the outer edge. Great pitch by Ben Sears, and the Mets leave 2 stranded.
All right, with the first pick in the broadcaster draft, the Syracuse Mets select Jack Gordon.
I was instructed to put it on.
There you go.
How do we look?
That's a great look.
Yeah?
20% off. You can't beat it.
It's not bad. I might have to go get this.
Pitch from Nolan McLean to Joey Weimer is lined into right field for a hit, so a leadoff single for Weimer and a runner on base. So, yeah, there's a QR code will be kind of showing throughout the inning. 20% off these authentic on-field fitted hats.
It's nice. Looks good on you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. We'll get you the full collection, Jack. I mean, 20% off.
We have more.
We'll get you them all. So there's the home hat, the road hat, the alternate hat, and then, of course, the Friday night black jersey hat.
I hope I don't get yelled at for bending it. Every time
No,
I put on
go
a
ahead.
hat, I
It's
can't
all
help
right.
but just
Just bend it. That's fine. Here's Harold Castro at the plate, and the count's 0-1. So again, 20% off. Just scan the QR code. It'll take you right to our Syracuse Mets team store. If you can't scan the QR code, just go to syracusemets.com, and you can click shop and check out the team store. So, yeah, all of those hats are available. Take a look at the collection. It is now through July 27th. So you've got a couple of days to make that decision, but that code, syracusemets.com, it'll be syracusemets.milbstore.com. That's the direct link. You could just scan that QR code and get 20% off the on-field caps, just like the ones the Mets are wearing today, the all-blue hat with the orange S on the front. Harold Castro at the plate, 1-1 the count from McClain. The pitch is grounded to the right side. Fielded by Reyes, spins, throws to second for one. The turn to first is a little high, and great backup by Hayden Sanger. He just played goalie, blocking that ball from going down the first base steps and saving Yanni an error.
That's a heads-up play that a lot of players wouldn't think about, and they wouldn't get there in time. Sanger realized it right away and just gave it his all to stop that ball. I mean, that's so important. Think about Nolan McClain now has to pitch for the guy at first instead of a runner in scoring position. We're in a two-run game. A play like that could really save you a run.
Yeah, so McClain has gotten through 6 innings. He gave up 2 runs in the second inning. He's been near perfect since. First pitch to Peyton Wilson, hung on in 1. Very important part of this game right now. 4-2 Mets in front. Getting into the final third of this ball game. No balls and a strike on Wilson. He's 1 for 2 today. The pitch is taken down low for a ball. Wilson had a 2-out RBI double in the second inning, a ball that he just clipped down the third base and left field line. It just stayed fair. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss with the cutter for strike 2. He started to throw that cutter a lot more. Second, third time through the order. We didn't see it a whole lot the first few innings.
When you look at it out of his hand, it looks like a tight slider. You know, it's up near 90 miles per hour, but it's got a lot of right to left movement.
1-2, taken just low. That was a curveball missing just below the knees, and it's 2-2.
McClain seems like the prototypical guy that is just learning how to get deeper into games, learning how to face hitters 2, 3, 4 times in a game if he had to.
2-2. Misses in the dirt with the cutter once again, and now it's a 3-2 count on Wilson. Not a whole lot of action in the Syracuse bullpen. McClain's only at 77 pitches through 84 in his last start in Norfolk. 97, a career high, the start before that. 3-2, sweeper, cold strike 3, a curveball got him. Off-speed pitch from McClain, his 5th strikeout, and there's a couple he's gotten with the curve.
That was downright filthy by McClain. That ball started up near the shoulders of Peyton Wilson. He's thinking ball, nope, that drops right in the strike zone. Sanger gives him a little help, punches him out, and now he's got 2 away.
First pitch to Nick Prado is low for ball 1. You're in one of these situations where if you make a mistake and you give up a home run, it's a tie game. On the flip side, McClain's 1 out away from tying a career high with 7 innings pitched.
I'll tell you what, Michael, big day for him on the mound, but 24th birthday, heck of a present.
Here's the 1-0 to Prado, misses down low for ball 2. Was there a doubt that he was going to put together a performance like this on his birthday?
Say, you know what? I'm going to give a nice gift to myself. I'm going to treat myself with 7 innings today.
Hoping to finish strong. Throw to first as Castro back safely with the head first slide. And we'll see what the plan is for the Mets. If McClain does get the final out here, does he come back out for the 8th? It's to be determined. 2-0 on Prado. The pitch is taken off the plate with a sweeper, and it is 3-0. Again, you got to be careful because for as good as this start has been, we saw it from Dallas Keuchel. He made one mistake to Joey Meneses, and a 3-run home run sullied the start. 3-0 on Prado the pitch. There's a fastball for a strike. It's 3-1.
It can't hurt to be conservative here if you're Dick Scott and Syracuse staff. McLean gets through 7. You got arms ready to go for the 8th and 9th in a 2-run game. You don't have to push it too hard. 3-1 line foul. Third base side out of play for strike 2. So 83 pitches thrown by McLean. Here in the top of the 7th inning, there are 2 outs, and the Mets are in front 4-2. Castro's over at first. Prado, the batter, has an RBI hit today. McLean is set. The 3-2 is inside ball 4. A check swing. He went around for strike 3. Prado can't believe it. He's walking out to Tanner Moore, the third base umpire, who is over near second base. 6 strikeouts for Nolan McLean. He is through 7 innings for just the second time in his professional career. A special Thursday night edition of post-game fireworks here at NBT Bank Stadium. It's not just some random folks outside of the stadium. No, some people ready to blow stuff up out there.
Jason Smorrell, Syracuse Mets general manager, joining us inside the booth. Jason, thanks for joining us. What a night, huh?
Thank you, gentlemen. It's a beautiful night. It's not so hot. Everyone's saying it's 95 degrees. Doesn't feel it. I'm a sensitive, delicate flower.
I don't think you can complain about anything under 100 degrees here.
I won't even complain about 100.
I mean, because it gets closer to negative 100.
You guys complain about a lot.
Here's a ball that Jared Young grounded back to the mound, and Crable makes the play for the first out.
The guys wearing ties, they complain?
I just feel that was a disingenuous statement from the broadcast booth.
Oh, definitely.
Jack's just disappointed we don't have air conditioning in here.
I'm surviving. I'm not complaining.
It's not bad. I was actually dreading coming up here. I thought it was going to be much hotter, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great night for baseball.
It's a beautiful night for baseball, and we love having a Dollar Thursday. Love being on SNY so they can see the future of the New York Mets.
I mean, if they've been watching us throughout the season, they
Right.
would know, right, that Brett Beatty would be heating up. We saw it here first, that Francisco Alvarez was back.
Killed it.
11 home runs. He had 11 of Syracuse's 40 home runs here in the second half.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
Imagine how awesome it would be if they were all still here.
Still pretty
I think
good.
I think Stearns will lend them to us for a couple of weeks again.
Yeah, he doesn't take those calls from me. I was like, hey, David, how about you send a few guys down?
Talk about the trade deadline. We'll throw you a couple Hoffman hot dogs if you send us down Francisco Alvarez for another week. That's not.
But you know what? That is the reason we're here, right? And that's why you go to minor league games, amongst all the things, the fun, the affordability, the fireworks. It's a different vibe than a major league game. But you get to see the Francisco Alvarez's every once in a while. You get to see their major league rehab person. Salvador Perez was here a few years ago, the last time the Omaha Storm Chasers were in town.
Right. Pitch from Crable to Reyes, too short. What a play by Harold Castro. All Reyes could do is tip his cap over to Castro, 2 away here in the inning. And you've got guys here at this level. We're seeing it today. Nolan McLean. There's going to be people in the stands tonight as Joey Meneses is coming to the plate. He's responsible for Syracuse having this lead thanks to his earlier 3-run home run off the Dallas Keuchel. But there's going to be folks here today that are going to be able to say, geez, I saw Dallas Keuchel, who's a 2-time All-Star and a World Series winner, and I saw Nolan McLean, who, heck, even later this year you might see pitching in the playoffs for the New York Mets.
Yeah, 100%. And that starts all the way down, right? So it's a different vibe. It's single A and double A, and then you get to triple A. And the team that we have in April is not the team that we have now.
Meneses with the 2-out single, and we're happy that the team changes and the playoff structure is such that Syracuse Mets right now are climbing their way to pole position in the second half International League standings.
I think that, Syracuse, next year we're going to be celebrating our 150th year of professional baseball. And I think that our community understands that, now the minor leagues are developmental leagues, and and we're that pipeline to the New York Mets, are part of that pipeline, just like the Omahas, the pipeline. Think of the people that we see on the other side that come through here. Ellie Dela Cruz is, the big one, the big name that pops up to my mind the last couple of years.
Bobichette,
Vlad Guerrero Jr., right?
What's Craig Biggio's son doing on this team?
Hitting pretty well, apparently. Yeah, he's been very good this series.
Pitch to Gilbert, popped in the air towards shallow right. Biggio coming in from right. Makes the call, makes the catch. We'll have Jason to talk about what's coming up here at NBT Bank Stadium when we return. $1 sodas, $2 hot dogs, and $3 16-ounce beers on a $1 Thursday at the ballpark. DJ Marty.
The one-man party.
A one-man party
out of the
there.
bullpen.
Whoa.
Normally it's DJ Joe Driscoll, but DJ Joe couldn't make it, so he went to the bullpen.
All right.
For usually Marty's the last call. He was first call out of the bullpen this time.
Jason Smorrell, our general manager here, as David Villar makes an excellent play on the first pitch of the inning, where Nolan McLean has just set a new career high, 7 1/3 innings pitched. He's out there for the 8th inning for the first time in his professional career, and he's done so efficiently on 85 pitches. That's going to be it for him, though, as Dick Scott is coming out of the Syracuse Mets dugout. A career-high 7 1/3 innings pitched for Nolan McLean, 85 pitches, a quality start where he allows only 2 runs. Standing ovation for Nolan on another great start for him. Is replacing Nolan McLean, who was awesome here today with a 7 1/3 innings pitch. Ross pitching on back-to-back days, something you at least test guys out on if you're thinking about maybe calling it up to the big leagues.
Yeah, it's usually one of the last things that the front office wants to see a AAA pitcher be able to do. You don't see it a ton at the lower levels, maybe here and there, but in the major leagues, you're going to have to throw on back-to-back days. And David Stearns said earlier this year that Dylan Ross is one of those guys that has the fast track up to the big leagues once he's ready, because he's a hard thrower, has kind of that shorter leash. He'll probably only give you an inning, but he can really overpower you and get a lot of outs.
Yeah.
Ross ended up closing out the game yesterday for Syracuse, getting the final 3 outs in the 9th. Big spot here with the Mets in front 4-2. With Jack Gordon, I'm Michael Tricarico. Jason Smorrell, our general manager, is joining us inside our broadcast. With Jason, what's to come? Because there's a lot of promotions coming up.
We have a lot of fun left in the season. Now we're down to about 21 games left in the season. We got all the fun this weekend, Christmas in July, Haudenosaunee night, which is kind of unique to us here in Syracuse. But we've got a lot of fun nights coming up this season. A great First Responders Day where we're giving away 1,000 jerseys, half police, half firefighters. The players will wear them. We're auctioning those off. All the money is going to go back to support local first responders here in Syracuse. We have Polish night, Irish night, Italian night, youth soccer night. Lots of fireworks left, lots of giveaways left, lots of $1 Thursdays left, lots of salt potato power move weekend is coming up. So a lot of fun to go for the rest of the season. If anybody's in the listening audience that wants to come over to historic NBT Bank Stadium, we'd love to have you.
Every Friday and Saturday night, the rest of the season at home is a fireworks Friday or Saturday.
It is, and I'm wondering, is there one more sneaky Thursday night fireworks? We do so many fireworks.
There might be one coming up. We probably had a
later in the season. There might be a quick little back-to-back-to-backer. I'm not 100% sure.
We got 3 nights of fireworks this week, of course.
Not according to the schedule.
But sometimes some of those April rainouts lead to August or September Thursday night fireworks shows. Is big strikeout from Dylan Ross as he gets Michael Massey for the second out of the frame.
And we're really excited about our First Responders Night. We've always done one. We have 2. 9/11 falls on a Thursday, so we'll have Remembrance Day for 9/11, and we'll focus a little bit more on some volunteer firefighters, on that day. But this is the big First Responders Day that we've always wanted to do. The IBEW Local 43 Electricians Union is our presenting sponsor of that. We're finally doing it on a Friday night, and it's going to have fireworks, and we're going to have a great giveaway. We bring out all of the members of we bring out a member of the Syracuse Fire Department to recognize, member of Syracuse Police Department, Onondaga County Sheriffs, Onondaga Volunteer Fire Department to recognize in the pregame, give them a great recognition, raise some money for the local first responders. Have all the color guards from all those local agencies come out, a little pageantry, and just to say thank you for the job that they do and the sacrifices that they make for us, not just here in Syracuse and Onondaga County, but obviously all over the United States of America.
That'll be Friday, August 9th, which is the following homestand for Syracuse. Mets are on the road in Buffalo next week, and then we'll be home. We'll have not just First Responders Day on that Friday, but a Thursday Polish night with the Polish jersey giveaway.
That's always a fun one. I am the Central New York Pole of the Year.
Pole of the Year.
As given out by the Polish Scholarship Fund at the Polish Festival. So last year, the Pole of the Year threw out the first pitch on Polish night.
So this year,
You're going to throw
he's going to announce.
Do I announce myself?
I think you
should.
You
Yes.
announce the first pitch, and then you just throw it.
You have to announce
And
yourself.
you have to talk through it. You have to hold the microphone and say, here's Jason Smorl.
It feels
with
like
the
there's
first
an
pitch.
easy joke in there, but I'm not going to go that direction. In our cultural nights are used because, every community is not the same. We have a large Polish community in Syracuse. We have a large Italian community, a large Irish community. So in addition to a lot of the other cultural nights that we do some of the heavy hitter ones, and they are popular. No offense to the Polish, the Irish, and Italians. There's a lot more of them in Syracuse. And those are great nights, but we theme the whole thing out.
The catcher's
So on
challenging the
Polish
call of
night,
ball.
we'll have crazy Al Piatowski playing some music at the beginning. We'll give away the jerseys. We'll eat
Calls
kibasi.
confirmed to
We'll
pitch
have
the ball.
Živec
Syracuse is
beer.
out of challenges.
Last pitch, by the way, was challenged by Sanger. It was confirmed to balls, so a little two-out walk here brings the tying run to the plate.
And on many of these nights, we have the amazing giveaway pack.
Yeah.
So fans can purchase the ticket to the game and the giveaway, so they get a guaranteed jersey. You don't have to get here early because those days, fans will start lining up at 4 o'clock to get some of these jerseys. And those Irish ones and those Italian ones, they might as well be bars of gold because people want them so much.
I mean, here in Syracuse, that jersey is like a St. Patrick's Day robe.
There's
Like,
nothing
it's
I love
perfect.
better than on the St. Patrick's Day parade to see all these years of Syracuse
yeah.
Mets jerseys out there. It's great.
All that to come. You can go to SyracuseMets.com for all of the promotional schedule, ticket information. If you want to get those giveaway packs, you'll be able to see a picture of the jersey giveaway, and you get that guaranteed. You have to come to the game, but you
Sure.
get the guaranteed jersey giveaway.
Do you? I don't think you do. You
We're not
buy
going to mail it.
you
We're not going to mail it to you.
give us a couple dollars. We'll mail
No.
anything
Okay,
to anybody.
All right. If you pay for the shipping.
I live in
sure.
Long Island.
All
I
right.
paid for the amazing giveaway
All
bag.
right, sure.
Hey, we're easy.
Pay for the shipping. All right,
Yeah.
fine. Yeah. Pitch here to Carter Jensen. Misses the zone. We've got Wall of Fame Day coming up August
Yes.
9th. So Dan Horde, who is a longtime broadcaster here in Syracuse.
We got to set it up with the celebration of the 1985 Syracuse Chiefs.
Yep. Last team to win the regular season pennant.
And Dan Horde was the radio broadcaster.
Pitch here grounded to second. Pablo Reyes makes the play for the final out of the frame.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate you guys letting me up here to bumble off about Syracuse Mets promotions.
The most amazing show on dirt with your Syracuse Mets. Bottom 8 next. Bottom of the 8th inning at NBT Bank Stadium. Mets in front 4-2 over the Omaha Storm Chasers. Syracuse looking for its 4th straight win. It's a Syracuse team that is 17-6 since June 24th. David Villar set to lead off, and a new pitcher into the game for Omaha. It's Michael Fulmer, who we saw just the other day. Fulmer, a 32-year-old right-handed thrower. Fulmer's numbers have been pretty good while he's been here in AAA with Omaha. Here's the first pitch to Villar, and it's taken for ball 1.
2015 AL Cy Young Award winner. Bottom of the 8th, they've got the 2016 AL Rookie of the Year winner, and Michael Fulmer.
Pretty remarkable. Here's the pitch to Villar. That's over the plate for a strike, and it's the second time that we've seen Fulmer this season. He opened up the year in Worcester. Then the Boston Red Sox organization pitched 4 scoreless innings against the Mets back on March 30th. Seems like a lifetime ago, March, when this season started. Pitch to Villar, swing and a miss for strike 2.
I think it's more so 60 degrees ago because that March series in Worcester was 30 degrees and chilly.
Yeah, I mean, first pitch on March 30th for a 1 o'clock game was 41 degrees.
Wow. Today might have been 91.
I think I saw 95 at one point on the temperature gauge past the left center field wall. Here's the 1-2. Swinging a ground ball foul, third base side. J.P. Arancibia, Syracuse Mets bench coach, third base coach, assistant hitting coach, jogging after that baseball. Fulmer, a guy who was only briefly this season in the Boston Red Sox organization. Designated for assignment. Elected free agency as VR swings and misses at the sinker. Fulmer was then in the Cubs system, but again, designated for assignment, elected free agency, and signed a minor league contract with the Kansas City Royals on July 3rd. Was a starter at the beginning of the season, but has transitioned into a bullpen role. Had to deal with some injuries. It's a guy who was a former Met. Not New York Met, but came up through the New York Mets organization. Michael Fulmer, round C pick in 2011 by the New York Mets. Here's the 1-0 to Hayden Sanger, and that misses the zone for ball 2. Came up through the Mets organization, never reached AAA while he was with the Mets, but got as high as AA Binghamton in 2015, where in 15 starts, he had a 1.55 ERA. He was part of that trade where the Mets sent Fulmer and Luis Sessa to the Detroit Tigers for Yoenis Cespedes back in 2015. Kind of makes you wonder, what trade deals might you see in just a couple of days? Here's the 2-1 to Sanger, swinging a looper, hit towards right. Biggio coming in, makes the catch, 2 away.
Big implications for both teams. You know, we know that the Mets are going to be buyers. The question is to what degree. Do they try to make a big splash? Do they just go for a couple of rentals here to improve around the edges? And you look at the Kansas City Royals. They're one of those weird teams in the middle right now that are a couple games under 500, but not completely out of the postseason picture because there's some American League teams vying for those wild card spots that aren't dominating by any means. The playoff spots are wide open with 3 wild cards now, so the Royals might be buyers, might be sellers, and it has impact on the AAA guys because think about what if the Royals trade Seth Lugo, a guy who's a rental, or maybe even a Chris Bubich, a long-term starter. Well, that opens up spots for guys on this roster to move up.
Might have teams that are both buyers and sellers.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of those middling teams right now that probably will end up doing both.
2 balls and no strikes on Ritter, who has a couple doubles today, and now he's got a single into right field. A 3-hit day for Luke Ritter. Continuing to increase his stock here with Syracuse. Couple of doubles, now a single, and a 2-out base runner for Yanni Hernandez.
Man, Ritter's looked really good. Sinker, down low, just slaps it the other way. Didn't see a lot of that early in the season for Ritter. We've talked about how he hasn't struck out as much or chased as much, but it was as if he was trying to pull every single pitch that he got, but that was just a much more natural swing to take it into right center.
Well, now here's Yanni Hernandez, switch hitter batting left-handed. First pitch inside. Yanni going all the way across home plate after that pitch made him lose his balance. Another 2-hit day for Yanni, 2 singles. RBI single in the 4th, and a 2-out single in the 6th.
Day that ends in Y.
Yanni has a hit, yeah. 1 ball, no strikes on Hernandez. Ritter leading off the first. Here's the pitch. Inside it, hit him. Ugh. Caught him right on the wrist or forearm, it looked like, on that left side, and immediately waving over to the third base Syracuse dugout. Austin Dayton, one of Syracuse's athletic trainers, coming over to check on Hernandez. Dick Scott over as well. Let me get a look at it.
Even caught closer to the elbow. You kind of hope it's more of like a funny bone type sensation that Yanni originally felt. Boy, he's a guy that's such a great personality to have in the clubhouse. Very often he's got a smile on his face. It's also the left arm, which again, not the throwing arm, which is, I suppose, some positive way to look at it. And he's moving the arm, which is good.
Yeah, very often you'll see guys hit with their front arm, so him batting from the left side, a guy like that would get hit on the right arm, but he was trying to twist to get out of the way, which exposed the left arm, and he got hit somewhere between the elbow and the shoulder. And waves a little thank you to the fans.
Well, Yanni finds another way to get on base, and hopefully he's able to stay in the game for the top of the ninth, because he's also one of your best defensive infielders. Just a 2-run game. Boy, how big would it be if Syracuse could get an insurance run home here in the 8th?
Yeah, 2-run ball game is tight, and we've seen this Omaha team be able to put up extra bases in a hurry. When we come back for the top of the 9th, Kevin Biggio leads off, and he's already had 3 extra base hits in this series.
Well, here's Gilberto Celestino, top of the Mets order. Has a hit today, and the first pitch misses high with a cutter for ball 1. A night in which Nolan McLean pitched a career-high 7 1/3 innings. Syracuse leads 4-2. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Runners at first and second. 1-0. High for ball 2. Fulmer having some trouble elevating some pitches out of the zone here. Runners at first and second for Syracuse. Celestino had an RBI hit yesterday with 2 outs. The pitch. Outside ball 3. And then you've got Jared Young on deck, who's a left-handed hitter, and he's got 1 hit today. Not quite his 3-hit performance yesterday, but that's not the guy you want to face with 2 outs.
And now he gets to face a righty. He went up against Dallas Keuchel, who's tough lefty-lefty.
Pitch to Celestino. Misses the zone for ball 4, pending a challenge from catcher Carter Jensen. So we're taking a look to the video board, and we see that this pitch was high. Bad challenge by Jensen.
Omaha has 1 challenge remaining.
I believe we've only had, 1 successful challenge today. The home plate umpire is 3 for 4.
Love the patient approach by Celestino there. He had struck out a couple of times today, but still wanted to make sure he got his pitch and didn't get too jumpy. After Fulmer hit Hernandez, maybe he was just trying to get a little bit too cute there. Now he's in a situation with the bases loaded against the best hitter on this Syracuse team.
Now we've had a couple of hit batters. Would you believe that's the first walk of the ball game? Wow. McLean didn't walk anybody. He hit 1 batter. Keuchel, Sears, and Crable didn't walk anybody. Fulmer, after hitting Hernandez, now walks the first batter of the ball game. All these pitchers attacking the strike zone. And meeting at the mound here with the bases loaded, and Jared Young coming to the plate for the Mets.
I think that was the best part about Nolan McLean's outing. Only hit 1 batter, no walks. That's what we were talking about early on. He had walked 3 batters in each of his previous 2 starts or 2 outings. So to go out there, go 7+, no walks, big step in the right direction.
Here's Jared Young. First pitch misses inside for ball 1. Young 1 for 4 today. Single, couple of ground outs, and a strikeout. Bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom 8. The 1-0. Swinging a ground ball through the left side into left field, a hit. Ritter scores. Hernandez around third. The throw goes to third. Celestino safe. Hernandez scores. Young's into second base. He picks up a 2-out, 2-run single, and the Syracuse Mets have added some massive insurance runs in the 8th. Syracuse is now in front 6-2.
Now they've got that cushion. A 2-run game going into the 9th inning adds so much pressure, but now you can take a little bit of a breath. Of course, on the mound next inning, you want your foot on the gas, but having a 4-run advantage here is massive.
Now here's Pablo Reyes' first pitch. Misses high for ball 1.
How about Jared Young just having that stretch where he was with the big league club for a couple weeks, only getting 1 plate appearance, and now back in Syracuse, he wasn't upset. He was just ready to roll and get on a hot streak again.
1-0 looped in the year center field. Weimer coming in, and he's there to make the catch for the final out of the frame. But Jared Young comes through again. Mets put together a 2-out rally, and Syracuse leads 6-2 as we go to the 9th. Syracuse, New York, NBT Bank Stadium. The AAA New York Mets lead 6-2 over the AAA Kansas City Royals as we begin the 9th. Colin Poche comes out of the dugout and out of the bullpen for Syracuse, replacing Dylan Ross, who got the final 2 outs of the 8th. Nolan McLean pitched a career-high 7 1/3 innings. Ross got the final 2 outs of the 8th, and now it's Poche looking to lock things down in the 9th. First pitch to Kevin Biggio is taken down low for ball 1. Syracuse with a couple massive insurance runs in the bottom of the 8th, giving Poche some extra breathing room. A 2-run lead has doubled to 4. 1-0. Biggio swings, lofts it in the air, shallow left center field. Young over from left makes the call and the catch for the first out of the frame. This time of night, this dusk time, twilight, it can be difficult to pick baseballs up in the sky, but Young read it the whole way.
This is a good situation for Poche. Yes, he faces some good hitters here, but Weimer has struggled this season batting under 200, but in total he gets 2 lefties out of the 3 hitters, and that's where he's at his best.
First pitch to Joey Weimer is a strike, and the count is 0-1. We talk great pitching. We get to see McLean and Ross and Poche today. We get to see Brandon Sproat tomorrow. I mean, think about this stretch, right? You see Blade Tidwell yesterday, you get Nolan McLean today, and you get Brandon Sproat, who has allowed just 1 unearned run in his last 23 innings pitched on the mound. What a stretch.
I mean, it goes to show how good of a spot the organization is in right now with pitching depth.
1-1 to Weimer, misses the zone for ball 2.
Well, the Mets have 5 healthy starters right now in the big leagues, but if they needed another, they have Paul Blackburn. They have Blade Tidwell. They have McLean and Sproat, who are 2 of the most dominant AAA pitchers right now. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Here's the 2-1. Weimer swings, pops it in the air, left side of the infield. Shortstop Yanni Hernandez, good to see him back out there after he was hit by a pitch in the 8th, and he makes the catch. The second out of the frame. So Syracuse 1 out away from winning its 4th straight game. It's so funny sometimes how a major league club goes, so does the AAA team, and finally, the Mets starting to get healthy at the big league level, which allows Syracuse to have some added depth here in AAA. First pitch to Harold Castro, misses the zone for ball 1.
Right. A lot of the talent from Syracuse, especially on the pitching staff, has bounced back and forth between here and Queens. Tidwell, Hagenman, Brandon Waddell, and numerous other bullpen arms.
1-0 to Castro's a strike. There was a stretch where for about 3 weeks, Syracuse had Nolan McLean and Brandon Sproat as starters. Everything else was up to the bullpen.
I mean, there were 3 or 4 bullpen days a week. That is next to impossible. But Syracuse kept winning those games.
And they're going to win this one as Castro lifts it in the air to left. Young is there to make the catch, and it's 4 straight wins for the Syracuse Mets. They are 18-6. The second half of the season, and Syracuse has won the first 3 games of this 6-game series against the Omaha Storm Chasers.
The offense is rolling for the Mets, but the big headline today is Nolan McLean, pitching into the 8th inning, giving up just 2 runs, no walks, on his birthday to boot. Heck of a day for Nolan.
Pretty remarkable what Nolan McLean was able to do on his 24th birthday. McLean turns in one of his best starts of his career. Career high 7 1/3 innings pitched for Nolan. Dylan Ross got the final 2 outs of the 8th. Colin Poche pitches a scoreless 9th, and the Syracuse Mets offense just continues to roll. Syracuse averaging more than 7 runs per game on offense since the second half of the season started back on June 24th. And Jack, I mean, when you combine what the Syracuse offense has been able to do with what the starting pitching staff is doing, now what the Syracuse bullpen has been doing, this is a complete team.
When you have a healthy staff like they do right now, matching that with an offense that has major league talent, young prospects, I mean, this is when AAA teams are at their best. That's what we're seeing. And first and foremost, like we talked about earlier, it's about getting help for the big league team. And if the Mets need bullpen help, if they need a starter, if they need an extra bat, that's right here in Syracuse right now.
Yeah, we're inside our Visit Syracuse broadcast booth. He's Jack Gordon. I'm Michael Tricarico. And Nolan McLean, 7 1/3 innings. He picked up 6 strikeouts. He didn't walk anybody, and he was efficient in addition to being effective.
I mean, 85 pitches with 7 1/3 innings is outstanding. He was so sharp. He was attacking hitters right away, getting strike one, not falling behind in counts. You know, he didn't walk anybody, but I can't think of any 3-ball counts he had either. He was so good establishing the fastball early. We know how good the sweeper is. I was a big fan of the curveball tonight. That was so fun to watch, just fooling hitters with that big hook.
Even on a day when the New York Mets were off, it still feels like a win for the big league team, considering what they have here as the future in this organization.
I mean, pitching prospects are so fun to watch because people always need pitching. And when you look at the Syracuse rotation right now, you got to see Blade Tidwell yesterday. Nolan McLean is projecting like, maybe a frontline starter one day. And then tomorrow, you might have the guy with the highest ceiling of them all in Brandon Sproat.
Yeah, it will be fun to see Brandon Sproat. Let's just talk about him for a second, just to preview what's to come tomorrow. 23 consecutive innings without allowing an earned run. He's only allowed 1 run throughout his last 4 starts, and he's looked about as good as you can hope, and it's just a mentality change that has helped lead him there.
Yeah, the way Brandon's put it is that he's just letting it eat. He's not thinking about too much anymore. He's getting back to what he used to do a little more often and not worrying way too much about the exact pitches to throw or about the pitch shapes or everything in the lab, because he puts in a lot of that work, but after a little while when you do that work, it gives you some room to say, you know what? I can just go out there and throw, because he can touch 100 miles per hour. He can pass that, and he has some nasty breaking pitches too. So when he has the confidence on the mound like he does right now, he's a big leaguer.
And this Syracuse team is one that just continues to roll the second half of the season. The Mets have won 18 of their last 24 games since June 24th. Been a full overall team effort, defense, pitching, and offense, as Syracuse wins its 4th straight game with a 6-2 win over the Omaha Storm Chasers. Thanks so much for joining us on this Thursday night. For Jack Gordon and our outstanding crew, I'm Michael Tricarico saying so long from NBT Bank Stadium in Syracuse. And thanks as always for watching Syracuse Mets baseball on SNY. Good night.